And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we will stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it to set up correctly to have the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic setup procedure for dynamic range and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,600 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best signal from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA 5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States as we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around. We pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking in to our QSO-VLOG net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday Afternoon QSO-VLOG Network, and now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy? Yes, Jim, I have a beautiful copy. You're 10 dB, almost 15 over, direct. Up here in northern New Hampshire on the Canadian border, here on the second of April 2021, where yesterday we had 3.5 inches of snow. Most of it fell in the morning, but off and on snow showers through the day. And by midnight we had 3.5 inches, and since then we've had over 1.5 inches more. Overnight and during the morning, and just about 25 minutes ago it snowed very hard here, but it didn't keep up, just one of those showers, and the low was 10 degrees above zero with wind blowing and flurries early this morning, and right now it's 19 degrees at 23 minutes to 4 in the afternoon. So I do have a station down in Australia who I worked on 40 meters this morning, and he was coming in very well. He was 200 miles, 300 kilometers northwest of Sydney, Australia, out in the desert country. Go ahead, Jim. Hope you copy K1GZL.
Yes, sir, Charlie. Perfect copy. Roll your tape there, Roger.
Roll your tape there, Roger. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I hope this is going to work.
We've spoken a number of times before, but not for a while now. My name is Brett. Bravo Radio Echo Tango Tango. BRECC, Brett's the name. I'm in central west New South Wales. More or less in the middle of the state of New South Wales, north, south, east, west, around about 400 kilometres inland from Sydney in a northwesterly direction. You're 4.5 plus here, no trouble to copy. I'm probably running something similar to what I was running last time I spoke to you, but I've got a quarter-wave vertical on the metal roof. It's actually got a director in front of it now, so quarter-wave vertical with one director in front of it sitting on the metal roof is the antenna. And it seems there seems to be some gain and advantage in using the director.
Okay, I hope that wasn't too long. But all he had was a quarter-wave vertical, and before that I worked a fellow a little bit south and west of Melbourne, Australia. He was running a 7300 barefoot to a G5 RV, and there was more noise on him, so I recorded him, but it was a little bit more noisy, but he was Q5, and it's amazing what conditions will allow you to do when propagation helps. KC9VKV, K1GZL. I hope you could copy that.
Roger, Charlie, perfect copy. Now, I received an email today for you, And this is from, let's see if I can pronounce this, NG Prospecting Ost G, and G Prospecting Ost commented on your video. This is the video of 3521 where you did some band propagation. And the message is, and G Prospecting Ost G and G Prospecting Ost just heard K1GZL Charlie here in Australia on 7152 megahertz. Can someone let him know we heard him in Northeast Vic Wodonga? That's Vic, V-I-C-K, V-I-C. Wodonga is W-O-D-O-N-G-A, Wodonga. 5.9 was the signal strength. We're waiting for our call here from Steve. We are waiting for our call here, Steve. Charlie, Roger?
Charlie, Roger?
Yeah, that's fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating. Wow, gee whiz, amazing. Yeah. I don't get into Western Australia very well because the Great Circle route, I have to go over Alaska, and I'm firing into Central Texas. So you can see that puts me about 15 degrees from being dead off the side of the antenna. I get over there occasionally, but it's marginal at best, very marginal, and somebody has to have a big beam in Western Australia for me to get through it. But that's interesting on that person picking that up, but I'd never heard of that other QTH, and I certainly hope he gets the license. I hope he gets his ticket and gets on. That would be wonderful. That would be absolutely wonderful, Jim, to be able to talk to him directly. But I appreciate your passing on that email. It was very, very fascinating. You never know. You never know who's listening. You never know. Jim, KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, you know, I tried my best to pronounce the entity's name. It was NG Prospecting Ost G and G Prospecting Ost. So not really sure about that, but Ost is A-U-S-T. That's the thing there. So hopefully that, I'm not sure what that means, but there it is, Roger.
There it is, Roger.
Yes, Roger. I don't know. I don't know. All of a sudden, a light bulb may go up in my head, and all of a sudden, I'll remember what it was. But at the moment, I'm at a loss. But I find it fascinating. By the way, we were down to almost completely bare ground here for a few days, and then it got much colder again, and we're back to snow. So right now, as I look out, there's a couple snowflakes coming down, but the sun is shining at the same time, and that happens up here quite often. By the way, here's how you sound this afternoon.
The thing there. So hopefully that I'm not sure what that means, but there it is, Roger.
Okay, I didn't get that very long, but anyway, I picked you up there. Okay, Jim, I won't hold it too long. I'll certainly look forward to catch you next Friday at the usual time, and I appreciate fellows for trying to keep the frequency clear, because Jim is doing a very, very important thing for the hams to help get the rigs at maximum efficiency as far as the audio and other things are concerned. So keep up the good work, Jim. You're right on top of it, that is for sure. KC9VKV, K1GZL, there goes my voice.
Roger, Charlie. Well, 73 up that way, sir. Glad to hear you. Always a pleasure. And you have a great afternoon. A beautiful weekend coming up, Roger.
And a beautiful weekend coming up, Roger.
Okay, Roger, you have a beautiful weekend yourself.
Not sure what that means, but there it is, Roger.
Okay.
Great afternoon. A beautiful weekend coming up, Roger.
Okay, 73, Jim. See you next week. K1G Zadell. We are clear.
Roger. This is KC9VKV. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording now live till 5, so we'll then post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/2/21. That will take you to this recording. If you just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And right now we're featuring about 1,600 recorded QSO-VLOG programs. And they're all, different radios and stuff, so you'll be able to hear how different radios sound and are set up, and the audio quality, and you can compare those against yours. So there you go. We are recording now live till 5. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout. Kilo
Bravo 3, Lima Yankee Bravo.
Go Papa.
Kilo Oscar 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with a call sign.
Slowly phonetically with a call sign. Kilo Charlie 3, Oscar Tango Papa.
OTP, Roger, what's the name there?
OTP, Roger, what's the name there? The name's Brian. Shore of Maryland.
Was that Brian?
Was that in? Roger.
All right, Brian, I just switched over to the Milford SDR. I was on the Rochester SDR, so you're much stronger on the Milford. What is your location, sir?
Milford, what is your location, sir? The location here is on the east shore of Maryland.
All righty. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running the Icom 7300 barefoot with the stock mic.
Excellent. That stock mic is really a beautiful mic. It's just amazing. Usually, a stock mic just gets you by, but that particular stock mic just does an excellent job. Now, the secret to working it is that you want to pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not work directly into it. Pull it to your lips and work across it, Roger. Pull it to the side of the corner of your lips and work across it, Roger.
Roger on that. Okay, that's how we'll start using it from now on. I have been doing it the other way, but I'll definitely change my habits here.
Yes, sir, because if you work it direct in, you'll get a lot of plosives and mouth noises, whereas if you work across it, it's almost clean as a tack. So if you'd be interested in a setup procedure, it begins with the compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what it needs to do. So our setup procedure begins with the compressor engaged at a 3.
Okay, I've got the compressor on at 3.
All right, sir. Then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can get the ALC meter up and showing. Then with your mic gain, you want to set that ALC reading for mid-scale to 2/3. Right in that area, mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Mid-scale to 2/3. Roger. All right, Roger on that. 100, 200, 300. 100, 200, 300. 100, 200, 300. 100, 200, 300. All right, yeah, I think I'm peaking, a little high there. Yeah, it's right about there, maybe. Well, it's peaking a little high, so I'll be a little bit less.
Looking pretty close. What we're looking for is about a 3 dB dynamic range, so you're right on target there, Roger.
You're right on target there, Roger. Yeah, I think I doubled you a little bit, but yeah, Roger.
Alrighty, and then do you know where your equalization is for that 7300?
Is for that 7300. Roger, I can read there as soon as I need to.
All right, let's adjourn to your equalization page, and we'll crank in just a little bit different EQ to bring out the articulation. And so, Brian, how are we doing there?
I'm ready when you are, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, currently you're flat, top and bottom, is that Roger?
Flat, top and bottom, is that Roger? Roger, roger.
All right, I want you to go +3. Let's try +3 first. +3 treble boost. +3 dB clicks, +3 clicks boost. Treble EQ from where you are.
Treble EQ from where you are. All right, roger. I've moved it up to +3 on the treble. How am I sounding now?
I think you got it going on there. That sounds beautiful. Now, what I would like for you to do is give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation, and let me look around, see if I can find a better pass, and just listen to your audio in general.
All right, sounds good. All center fed, 80 meter dipole, which centers off at a probably you could see that the legs come down to roughly maybe above 20 feet. So yeah, that's what I'm running right now. It works pretty good for the moment, so I get something new.
Roger, Brian, I think we're right on target, sir. Sounds beautiful. If you'd like to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that's KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/2/21. That will take you to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. Roger?
Roger on that. That would be real cool to check out. I appreciate that. I appreciate your help setting up the mic.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. So we'll say 73 to you. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Bravo 3, Lima, Yankee Bravo.
There's a Kilo Bravo 3 station. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign.
Kilo Bravo 3, Lima, Yankee Bravo.
Lima Yankee Bravo. What's the name there?
Here is Mark, Mike Alpha, Romeo T.
Roger, Mark, and let me get that down. And where are you, sir?
I'm located about 10 miles north of Pittsburgh in western Pennsylvania.
Alrighty, and what radio are you running, Mark?
Well, today I'm running a relatively new FTDX10. The radio I just picked up last weekend and haven't really had a chance to do much audio tuning on it. In fact, audio tuning is relatively new to me. I normally run the Kenwood hybrid, so having all these options is fairly overwhelming sometimes.
Yes, sir, Mark. Give me the name of your radio one more time, please.
Yeah, it's the Yaesu FTDX10.
FTDX10. Roger. Well, it's looking really good right as it stands. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system and let me hear your audio.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm running basically a simple. That's the one I have got. The Mayan, and it's about 10 meters off. And it's about 10 meters off the ground, inverted L off of the antenna on the roof on my house out to a tree, and then down at not quite a right angle, maybe a 70-degree angle to the ground. It's normally the way I've got it set up right now is it runs north to south, so I think it's pretty well radiating east to west, but I'm definitely picking up you easily 10 over, 20 over.
Roger, Mark. It sounds really good, but let's just double check to be sure we're online there. Your compressor engaged at a 3, is that a Roger?
I actually don't have the compressor engaged at all right now, but as I'm speaking, I'm turning it up to a 3. So right now it is currently at a 3.
Excellent. And then to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and we want that ALC to be running mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you might get the ALC meter up to make the adjustment.
Okay, I'm turning the mic gain up a little bit. Right now the ALC is running at about, I'd say, half. My mic gain is now up to about 60 on the meter here, and actually it's not, well, I can move it a little bit higher, but I'm listening to it on the monitor, and it's coming through pretty loud. Mic gain is now at 80, and the ALC is still only going to about halfway up.
Roger, I'd pull mic gain back to a 70. I'd pull your mic gain back to a 70, and why don't you give me 10 seconds about what you like best about your radio.
Sure. Let's see. Mic gain is now back to 70. I'll tell you what, I've never had a radio that has a waterfall before, so this is quite an experience. I'm used to having to tune around and try to find stations, especially during contests and state QSO parties, so this is a brand new experience, and I'm definitely enjoying it. This is an interesting way to operate. Also, just real quick, I was going back and looking through my log. I actually spoke to you. You were my third SSB contact ever whenever I started getting back on the air about a year ago. I had no idea who you were, but whenever I pulled you up in my log, I saw that you were one of my early contacts back in April of last year.
Roger. Well, thank you for being a good contact there, and it sounds just beautiful. If you'd like to hear your audio, you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 4/2/21, and that will take you directly to this recording, Roger.
That sounds good, Jim. Thank you very much for the help, and I'll keep listening. 73 to you.
73 to you, sir, and have a good afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November Bravo, 6 Bravo.
There's a November Bravo station in my life. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please, sir.
Alpha 3, Oscar, Fox, Echo, EQ,
This frequency is in use. And this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And I'm trying to make contact with the call sign NB something. Come back, NB, and slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please.
Sure thing. November, Bravo, 6, Bravo.
November, Bravo, and then what is that, 6? Is that a Roger? Okay, I'm copying November, Bravo, 6, Bravo, Roger.
Roger.
All right, and what's the name there, please?
The name here is Rob, Romeo, Oscar, Bravo, and we've actually worked before, but that's brand new setup, hoping to try to get properly equalized.
Roger, Rob, I'm copying you about 2 dB over my noise level. I've went through all of my my SDRs, and the signals are just about the same, just a couple of dB over my noise level, but we'll try to see where it goes. Maybe it'll come up a little bit. What's your location, Rob?
I'm located in Norfolk, Virginia.
Is that Northwest Virginia?
Negative, Norfolk, Virginia. The naval base of Norfolk, Virginia.
Would that be Norfolk, Virginia?
QSO, Roger.
All righty, Rob, and what radio are you running today, sir?
This is an aircraft, Kilo X-Ray 3.
Okay, I copied X-ray 3. What is the prefix?
The prefix? Kilo X-Ray 3.
Kilo X-ray 3, is that a Roger?
QSL.
All right, Rob, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation, and let me look around, and I'll see if I can find a better path, Roger?
KS3 doesn't have much power to boast, but that's the situation of the antenna, and just wondering about my compression or equalization, how it sounds coming out. I don't know if there's anything I can change on that.
Roger, Rob. You're too far into my noise level to be able to critique your audio in that way. Let's just do the very basics. Let me give you some notes that you might double check at your leisure to see how you're set there. First is the compressor engaged at a 3. Get that compressor online and at a 3. Once you do that, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, to get the ALC meter up to where you can see what it's doing, adjust your mic gain to where the ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter by mic gain manipulation. Roger?
Mic gain manipulation. Roger.
The right mic gain now, and the compressor, I moved that down to about a 3 QSO.
Roger. You're still about 2 dB above my noise level, so let's do this. If you get a chance, if my signal comes up to you substantially, then maybe your signal will come up to me, and you might try to give me another shout. If it doesn't, then if you might be capable next Friday of trying to join us, maybe we'll have better conditions. Now, what is the output of your radio right now?
Unfortunately, it's maxed out at 10 watts right now.
Well, therein lies the problem. Do you normally run 10 watts? I mean, I guess you do. Have you thought about maybe a power amp in your future?
Yeah, I definitely would look forward to getting amplification of some kind. Right now it's running on the internal batteries that come with it, so that's about as much power as I can make.
Roger, so your KX3 is running on internal battery at this moment?
Yeah, QSO. That's the unfortunate side effect of having a brand new setup that it doesn't have all the fun bells and whistles it has yet.
Roger, Rob. Well, listen, I think it's exceptional that I'm copying you as well as I am on 10 watts from Norfolk, Virginia. Congratulations, sir. And like I say, maybe in your future there'll be 400 watts or 800 watts. You never can tell. And that will help out immensely. Roger.
Yeah, QSO. I look forward to being able to have a little bit better contact. I copy you absolutely clearly and beautifully here in Norfolk, Virginia, but I look forward to having you be able to copy me as well.
Roger, Rob. Well, let's see here. Let me do something. We're right now at a kilowatt. I'm going to drop down to 100 watts. Coming down. Right now we're at 100 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at 100 watts. And back to a KW. Roger, see the difference there?
Yeah, absolutely. You came up and you went down and right back up.
Roger. So it does make a difference, man, and you'll really appreciate it once you do get a little more power up from 10 watts. Roger.
KR4WX. Hopefully I'll be able to.
Station standby. Roger, Rob. Well, 73 there, sir. And like I say, if you want to hear how well that 10 watts is doing there, or if you go to YouTube and do a call data search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/2/21, that will take you to this recording. Give us a couple of days to get it uploaded, and also remember maybe try later today if my signal comes up to you, or next Friday maybe we'll have better propagation. I can hear your audio to be able to advise you further. Roger. Here with KC9 Victor Kilo Victor. Well, I caught a little bit of that on the Arlington SDR, sir. Come back, maybe I can get a pretty good recording. Give me 10 seconds on your antenna system, Rob.
10 seconds on your antenna system, Rob.
All right, QSO, I'm running an NSET antenna, 80 feet long, about 40 feet in the air, and I'm feeding it with my Kilo X-Ray 3 by Elecraft. Currently putting out about 10 to 15 watts, and it's a brand new radio and a brand new headset, and I was trying to get a better equalization for that, Roger.
Yes, sir. You're about 5 dB, 6 dB above my noise level now. What kind of equalizer do you have? Is it a 3-band?
Equalizer do you have? Is it a 3-band?
It's actually got, I think, 8 different settings from the bass end all the way up to the tenor end. So it's got 8 portions to the equalizer.
Okay, we're looking for something up on the 3K, 2.5K area. Do you have anything in that area?
Yeah, I can turn up, let's see, you want a 3K, let's see what I can do over there. NB6B, and I'm turning up one of the different equalization things there. How's it sound?
Sounds pretty good. Why don't you give me 10 seconds on what you like best about your radio, and I will listen closely.
All right, QSO. I like that it's very portable. And of course, that would be useful when it comes to using it in parts or field day type operations. QSL.
Roger. Now I want you to just key your mic for 3 seconds and don't say anything. Dead key for 3 seconds, Roger.
For 3 seconds, Roger.
Yeah, looks good, Rob. Roger.
Yeah, looks good, Rob. Roger.
So your signals dropped back down, but there for a moment we were doing fairly well. You were about 5 or 6 dB above my noise level, and so I could hear you very plainly. So I think your EQ is more intelligible now. You know, that's the most important thing. Your situation is going to be almost always a problem with noise in QRM because of your power strength, in a jam or something, a pile up or something, you're going to have your job cut out for you. So you want to try to get your audio as articulated as possible so your words are very clear and clean. Roger?
Very clear and clean, Roger.
Yeah, so I will work towards having intelligibility as best as I can with the understanding and limited based on my power calculation. November Bravo 6 Quebec.
Roger, I would back off just a tad on that EQ that we just cranked in, just a little bit. How much was that you cranked in?
I put it from 0, I put it up to a +6, so I'll put it down to a +3 now. It's at +3 now.
Yeah, I would do a 4 plus 4 would be fine. Roger, Roger?
Plus 4 would be fine. Roger, Roger.
QSL is back up to a +4 now.
Excellent, Rob. Okay, let me say 73 to you, sir. You have a good afternoon, great weekend. And again, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date 4/2/21, that will bring up this recording. Now, if you would just like to hear a lot of other transmitters, if you just do the call letter search by itself, KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And right now we're featuring about 1600 recorded QSOs, so you have a lot of different sounds to consider. Roger?
Roger. I appreciate it, sir, and you have a wonderful day. November Bravo 6 Bravo, clear.
Roger, and that last transmission there, you were 7 dB over my noise level. So 73, Rob. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Gosh, there's about 5 stations there. Loudest one, take it.
Kilo, Mike, Juliet, Kilo.
Mike, Juliet, Kilo, sir. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo, Jim in upstate South Carolina. Over.
Roger, Jim in South Carolina, and the call was Kilo India 4, Adam Japan King. Is that a Roger?
And King, is that a Roger?
Negative. The suffix is Mike Japan Kilo, Mike Japan Kilo, QSO.
Mike Japan Kilo, Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running, Jim?
What radio are you running, Jim?
Running an ICOM 7300, and I just dabbled just a little bit in contest, and was trying to do the recent
frequencies in use.
Worldwide
frequencies in use.
My radio was actually cut off completely, and then it would shut back on, boot back up, and couldn't figure out exactly what was going on with it, so I had to quit the contest. But I'm kind of just wanting to try it out again today to see if I get the
frequencies in use.
Over.
Frequencies in use.
Roger, Jim. Well, gosh, it's sounding all right. Now, it could have been you were running a high SWR, and the radio was shutting down because of that, Roger.
Shutting down because of that, Roger.
Well, my power output, I was looking at that also, and it seemed that it was indicating the proper power output, and I switched over and looked at the SWR, and that looked okay also, so I'm not sure. I did find a little bit of moisture in where I have two pieces of coax connected. I'm running the RG-213 type military standard coax out about 140 feet total length of that to a 22-foot vertical. I believe it's a bushcraft type vertical, and antenna is very resonant of this frequency. Over.
Oh, roger that, roger that. Well, it's a kind of a thing where I think what I would do if I were you would be to run that meter in the SWR mode to see if there's any shenanigans going on there. A lot of times your forward reading might be correct, but it could be you're running high SWR. Now, the 7300 does have an antenna tuner in it. Do you use that, Roger?
Do you use that, Roger?
Roger, yes, sir, I do. And I did have that one tuned, to about the frequency.
Frequency is in use. Frequencies in use.
Frequencies in use.
And tuned, and then and it's supposed to tune. As a matter of fact, when I push down to PTT. Over.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, just keep an eye on it there, and see where it goes. Also, your power supply might have a problem there. You might, if that's got a meter on it, you might be watching that also. If it's got a voltmeter or a volt current, or a current meter, to see what's going on there. The more you can monitor parameters, the better off you are as far as to try to figure out what's going on. Now, if you'd be interested in our setup, it begins with the compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do. So it'd be compressor on and at a 3. Roger?
On and at a 3. Roger?
Okay. Compressor on and at a 3. Let me see if I can find that.
It's on your multi-button.
The button.
Compression on, and let me see if I can.
Yeah, you just have to put that, once you get the compressor on, just turn it to where it's a 3 on that compressor, Roger?
A 3 on that compressor, Roger.
Okay, let me see if I can do that.
Top right round button.
top round button.
Again.
Top round button. Thank you.
Push it in. Got the round button here, and push it in.
Yeah, I need to push it in.
I need to push it in.
KC9VKV, Jim, you got a copy?
VKV, Jim, you got a copy? Roger, I have the compression set on 5 right now, over.
Roger, okay, turn it back to a 3. We want that compressor engaged at just a 3, Roger?
At just a 3, Roger.
I tell you, Jim, maybe I could give you some notes and you could follow at your leisure, Roger?
At your leisure, Roger. I'm not giving it to back off. Let me press it. I've got pressed and I'm showing. Let's see here. Okay, here right now. All right, I got. All right, now I'm on compression of 3. Over.
All right. Well, let me just maybe give you some notes, sir, and you can go ahead at your leisure. Do you know where your ALC meter is? How to get to your ALC meter?
How to get to your ALC meter? And by the way, my mic gain is 50%. Yes, sir, I believe I can find my ALC meter.
Roger, I could give you notes on this stuff, and then you could, do it at your leisure, take all the pressure off, Roger.
Leisure, take all the pressure off, Roger. Roger, that'd be fine. I'll jot down the notes.
All right, you've got your compressor engaged at a 3. That's the beginning. Then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you might see where the ALC meter is reading, what you want to do is adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by mic gain manipulation, Roger.
Manipulation, Roger. Roger. Okay, mid-scale to 2/3 on the meter. All right, thank you.
Roger. Now you're using the supplied stock hand mic. Is that a Roger?
Supplied stock hand mic. Is that a Roger? No, sir. I'm using a Heil Pro 7 headset. Over.
All right. On the headset, what you want to do is take that boom and run it straight out as far as it'll go, and then at the last minute make a 90 to where it's in your in front of you. But go out as far as you can go in front, and then take that 90, Roger?
Take that 90, Roger. Roger, I have done that.
Okay, you've got that now?
Roger.
All right, why don't you give me 10 seconds on your antenna situation, and let me hear you.
Okay, sir. All right. The antenna is a 22-foot aluminum vertical pushcraft. I forget the actual model number now. It's an older one that I've purchased at Campus. It's placed about 120 feet behind my home, running RG 213 military type coax to it. And I've got, I believe it's 3 ferrites at about the kind of area where the radial stops, and I've got about 12 radials put in the ground around it, 4 for maybe each of the common bands. This is KI4MJK. Oh.
Roger, Jim. So your EQ pattern now is a lot cleaner now that you've moved back away from that mic a little bit. It's just perfect. I wouldn't change the EQ pattern there at all. What I would do is now go back to your ALC and double check that you're still running mid-scale to 2/3, because your proximity to mic has decreased. You're further back away from the mic, so your level may have dropped. So what you want to do is go back to your ALC and double check that ALC level, and if it's low, bring it up. Roger?
Roger. Thank you, sir.
Roger, well, go ahead and do that, and let me hear you do that. to do that.
He sounds better, Doug.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Jim, okay, let me just say, note to Jim, when conditions permit as far as your situation there, what you want to do is go back to your AOC reading, and as you talk rapidly, 100 to 200 to 300, to bring the meter up, with the mic in hand, adjust it, double check and adjust it for mid-scale to 2/3, just in case your volume level might have changed due to the fact that you are further away from mic. Roger?
Are further away from mic. Roger? Roger, I'm looking for the, I've got AGC, I'm looking for the ALC. Over.
Yes, sir. Two different things. One's transmit, one's receive. I'll leave it with you there. You've got the notes, and then just double check that AOC. It's probably pretty close, but the AOC is the Bible for your radio. And when you make changes in your audio system, even proximity to mic is one change, changing mics from one mic to another is another change. You always want to go back to your AOC and double check that you're at the proper level with the new condition. Roger?
With the new condition. Roger? Roger. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it very much. I certainly do. And thank you very much for taking time today.
Roger, your last transmission, you were 7 dB above my noise level, so it's very clean. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 4/2/21, will take you to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded to YouTube. Usually we're a lot quicker than that, but outside, in case the world falls apart or something, we do 2 days. Roger?
We do 2 days. Roger? Roger. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. 7-3, sir. Appreciate your time. Kilo India 4, Mike Juliet Kilo. Clear with KC9VKV.
Roger, Jim, just as you have kind of faded down there. So 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the QSO-VLOG net for Friday afternoon. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout. Kilowatt Delta 3 Alpha November X-ray.
There's a Kilowatt Delta 3 in my life. Sir, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Roger, Jim. Kilowatt Delta 3 Alpha November X-ray QSL.
Yes, sir. And what's your name there, sir?
My name is Dean, Delta Echo Alpha November. Roger.
Roger, Dean. And what's your location, sir?
I am located in Jobstown, New Jersey, right outside of Fort Dix, New Jersey. Roger.
Roger. And what radio are you running, Dean?
I am running an L-Craft K3, an ACOM 2000A, and a horizontal dipole. Roger.
Roger. Okay, what I'd like for you to do, just out of curiosity, would be to give me a dead key for about 3 seconds. Just a dead key, don't say anything, just a dead key for 3.
Roger, on 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, no, dead key is just, you just key it. You don't talk. But I see what I'm seeing. Your compressor's really over-compressing. You want to back that off. The beginning of our setup procedure, we want that compressor engaged, but only at a 3. When you pass a 3, what happens is it starts to want to suck up between words, and that's what you don't want. You don't want to hear your neighbor's wife beating the kids, in the house next door. A 3 does a beautiful job. So we're in our generic setup procedure. We start with the compressor engaged at a 3. Roger.
Roger.
Roger, Roger. All right, let me, I'll turn it down a little bit. How's that? Is that any better?
Do you have a 3 in your life?
Do you have a 3 in your life?
A 3? No. This my compressor on the K3 goes from 0 to like 20, 30 or something like that, Roger.
All right, if it went to 30, it would be a 10. What we're looking for is about a third of the capability of the compressor. So how does it go, 0 to 30?
Well, how does it go, 0 to 30?
0 to 40.
All righty, so 12, somewhere around a 12, would that be?
Somewhere around a 12, would that be?
Oh, Roger, on the 12. It is set at 12 right now, QSO.
Yes, sir. Now move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can see where the ALC meter is. Adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is reading mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter by mic gain manipulation.
Meter by mic gain manipulation.
Oh, Roger on that. We're probably right about there. I would say that that would be mid-scale to 2/3 right there. Roger?
Yes, sir. Now give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation so I can listen to your audio.
Okay. My antenna is just a horizontal dipole. It's about 35 feet in the air, resonant to 40 meters. Roger?
Roger. Now I know that K3 has got a crazy amount of equalization capability. What is that, 8 band or 10?
Band or 10?
I believe it's 8 band, and right now I have everything set flat. I am using a Heil PR77D on this radio. Roger?
Close enough. Say no mo. Close enough. It sounds good. Rather than getting into all that other stuff. Those are 10 or 8 band parametric. So good God, so much control, too much control from remote control. So I think you're close enough, Roger.
From remote control. So I think you're close enough, Roger.
Roger on that, Jim. When I set it up, I figured, let me just set everything flat. I mean, the PR77 pretty much has a flat, is pretty much flat when you look at it. And so I said, well, that should be a good starting point, Roger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think you did well. And that mic is doing you excellent. Usually, a dynamic microphone is going to take a little TLC in the upper side to bring the articulation level up to that of, say, a condenser microphone or even an electret microphone. But that mic sounds really good, just like you have it, Roger.
That mic sounds really good, just like you have it, Roger.
Roger on that, Jim. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate you taking the time to go over this with me. I get some good reports with the radio, but sometimes you just like to be able to tweak it a little bit, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I think the main thing is that we've improved your dynamic range, reduced your dynamic range to 3 dB, which equates to 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. If you consider that unprocessed audio is running a 10 dB dynamic range with an average 30% of peak modulation, so what we did was close in that dynamic range to a 3 dB, and now you're 80 to 85% average peak mod, Roger.
85% average peak mod, Roger.
Got it. Yep, I understand, Roger.
Roger, Dean. Well, let me say 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And again, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4221, that will take you directly to this recording, and so you can hear your radio, and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. Sometimes we're a lot sooner, but outside a couple of days, Roger.
We're a lot sooner, but outside a couple of days, Roger.
Roger on that there, Jim. And thank you very much, and happy holidays to you, Jim. 73.
Roger, Dean. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon. Beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check
shout. Give me a shout.
Romeo Echo Zulu.
Oscar Yankee W4OY.
There's a Romeo Echo. Well, shoot. Come back. Try it again. Loudest one.
Well, shoot. Come back. Try it again. Loudest one.
Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo Echo Zulu. Good afternoon, Jim.
Roger. Kilo Echo 4. Come back with the rest slowly, phonetically, please.
Come back with the rest slowly, phonetically, please.
Yeah, it's Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo Echo Zulu.
Kilo Juliet 4 Romeo Echo Zulu, Roger.
Juliet 4 Romeo Echo Zulu, Roger.
Roger. I'll keep this really quick. I just wanted to know what my transmit bandwidth was. There's nothing we can really do with our audio. We tried that a couple months ago with you. But I was curious what the bandwidth was. Somebody was telling me it's 2.4. Other people tell me it's 2.8.
Roger, I really can't advise on that. It sounds good to me. I don't know. You might be just a little bit too much compression. I would pull that compressor back to a 3. What radio is that, sir?
Pull that compressor back to a 3. What radio is that, sir?
It's the 706. I don't even have the compression on. We've already been through all there's not much with this radio. It's very basic. It's 25 years old. But a couple of people dog me because they say the bandwidth is too narrow, so that's why I was curious.
Oh, well, in their imagination, it sounds beautiful to me. I mean, you're very clean audio. And good curve to me. So, I'm not sure exactly what their problem is, but I don't think you have to be out to 3KC necessarily. Some radios, older radios, might be 2.4s, 2.6, 2.8, and with a little equalization, you can solve a lot of those problems as far as getting a very articulated audio. I mean, those radios are just prime for outboard processing equipment, like you could go mic preamp along with a condenser microphone or electret microphone into a 7-band EQ on into the radio, and that would give you, as clean as your radio sounds right now, that would give you just a beautiful, beautiful signal, Roger.
That would give you just a beautiful, beautiful signal, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, there's one I've been looking at. I think it's a 5-band or maybe a 7-band, and it's made for this radio. And it's only about $89. I didn't know if it would be worth the investment. I may go ahead and get it and try it out because that's about all I could do is use an outboard EQ. All right, well, I won't hold you up. I know there's a lot of people that want to get in there with you, and thankfully today we don't have a corner in there, so hopefully that holds out. All right, Jim, you have a great weekend and happy Easter. Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo Echo Zulu. Thanks again, 7-3.
Roger, Romeo Echo Zulu. What is the name there?
Roger, Romeo Echo Zulu. What is the name there?
It's Floyd in South Carolina.
Roger, and I'm just curious, that radio does not have a compressor, Roger?
That radio does not have a compressor, Roger?
It does, but it makes everything worse. I don't know if you remember a couple months ago we were talking, you got to get inside the radio with a screwdriver to play with it, and it has an amplified ICOM desk mic, so I don't even run the compressor.
Roger, well, there is some compression going on, and I think since you do not have your compressor engaged, it must be that you're hitting your ALC fairly warm. What is your current mic gain setting?
What is your current mic gain setting?
I think it's at an 8. Hold on, I can bring it up.
No, don't bring it up, but just give me the number. And 8 out of what?
Bring it up, but just give me the number. And 8 out of what?
Yeah, I mean, even though this radio is 25 years old, it's all menu-driven. It's set on number 7. I'm going to drop it back to a 6. KJ4REZ.
All right, give me a dead key for 3. Don't say anything, just key for 3.
Dead key for 3. Don't say anything, just key for 3.
Yeah, there's some compression going on there somewhere. Definitely is. Take your mic gain to a 5. Mic gain 5, and let's see what goes on.
Mic gain 5, and let's see what goes on.
Oh, you know what you're picking up? When I transmit, the fan goes in turbo mode on the radio. It's pretty loud.
No, this is compression. I can hear it in your audio. So just out of curiosity, if you could, I tell you what, put your mic gain on a 4. Put your mic gain on a 4, and let's just have an experiment here.
Put your mic gain on a 4, and let's just have an experiment here.
Okay, that is on number 4, KJ4REZ.
I like your audio much better at a 4 than a 7. You were just kind of blurry. You know, to perceive words, we need a certain degree of dynamic range. I have found 3 dB dynamic range is right at the point of being able to perceive the word well. When you continue to drive things and close that dynamic range, things start to get blurry. So a case in point would be if you had no dynamic range, if you had your mic up there at 2,000% and were speaking and, overdriven, you would have no dynamic range and the words would be extremely blurry. So what we're doing is a compromise here. As we pull off that gain, we're letting that dynamic range increase till we get to about 3 dB. And that I've found to be the perfect place for the amount of the fullness of the audio versus the intelligibility. Roger?
So the audio versus the intelligibility. Roger?
Roger. Okay. Yeah, I've never run it this low. Yeah, the ALC is going about halfway, I guess, now that I'm looking at it. All right, I'll hit set on the menu right here, and I'll just leave it on number 4.
Yes, sir, I would do that. And then I would also try to get a little more physical distance separation between your power amp or wherever the blower is and your mic. Can you extend the distance between those two fairly easily?
Extend the distance between those two fairly easily?
It's actually the radio. The radio's been modified. It does 200 watts, a little over 200 watts. And it's a tiny, tiny little radio, if you're familiar with the ICOM 706. So putting out that much power, it's got to have a heavy fan. So it's just probably a foot and a half away from the radio, and it's just a loud fan when I key up.
Oh, Roger. Now, you're running a desk mic. Is that a Roger?
Oh, Roger. Now, you're running a desk mic. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, the SM5 ICOM desk mic. Video amplified.
Okay, and I'm assuming that the back of the mic is facing the radio. Is that a Roger?
The back of the mic is facing the radio. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, the radio's at the back of the desk, and the microphone is all the way at the front.
Roger. Well, gosh, have you ever thought about a shroud over your blower intake that would be more amenable to a forward decibel projection of the blower? That it would insulate the sound and suck air from the back as opposed to up front where it's emitting noise. Even cardboard shroud that would work on the audio as far as lowering the level that the mic is picking up.
As far as lowering the level that the mic is picking up.
Tell you what, I just slid back in my chair and I'm holding the microphone. Now I'm probably 2.5 feet away from the radio.
Roger, well, that's about, you're about 10% of the noise that you were the other way, Roger. So I like it much better that way. Of course, you have to have long arms to work it, I guess.
You have to have long arms to work it, I guess.
Roger. All right, Jim, well, I'll let you go. And I'll see, it's not going to be easy to get rid of that noise because that fan is internal. And I think it would, I don't know, it's only got 2 little tiny vents. It's a really, really small radio. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of that noise. But turning the mic gain down, I'm sure it helped tremendously.
Yes, sir, and your audio level is the same. It's not quite as dynamic range-wise. It's about 3 dB now, where I was looking for. Before, you were about 1 dB, or 1.5, 2, somewhere in there. It was considerably compressed, but now it's got a little life to it, and sounds a lot better, I think. You be the judge. If you go to YouTube, do the call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/2/21, and that will take you to your recording. Roger?
That will take you to your recording. Roger?
Roger. All right, Jim. I'll let you go, and thank you again for your help. You have a wonderful weekend. Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo Echo Zulu 73.
Roger, and I just had another thought, Floyd. The other alternative would be a hand mic, where you could move up onto the hand mic. And as I'm talking, what is your distance from your mouth to your desk mic?
From your mouth to your desk mic?
5-6 inches.
Well, that's, 2 inches away, 3 inches away would probably really help as far as being able to overcome your signal-to-noise ratio mic-wise. That would be further turning your mic gain down to maybe 2 or 3 as you get to about 3 inches away from your mic. It's all relative. That mic is, the closer you work it, the better the signal-to-noise ratio. Roger?
The better the signal-to-noise ratio. Roger?
Roger. Well, now I'm about an inch or so away from the microphone, and I turned it down to a 3.
Oh, wow. Man, that really sounds good. That sounds excellent. Now, you were closer to the radio than 7 miles away that time, right?
To the radio than 7 miles away that time, right?
Yeah, I put the microphone back on the desk where it was in the beginning because that's just where I keep it. But I've actually just moved closer to the microphone, with my face. So now I'm not 5 inches away from it anymore.
Yes, sir. I would run it that way because, that blower is way in the background there. Before it was kind of a dominant thing, but right now it's way back. So I would run it just like that, Roger.
Right now it's way back. So I would run it just like that, Roger.
Should I turn it down to a 2?
Check that, yeah. Do a 2 and let me hear you.
Check that, yeah. Do a 2 and let me hear you.
Okay, that's at the top of a 2. There's like a little bit of play in between each one. Now the ALC is not moving very much. Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo Echo Zulu.
Yeah, I would move it. Where were you, 3 or 4?
Yeah, I would move it. Where were you, 3 or 4?
Roger.
Which one?
Which one?
I was a 3, and then we went down to a 2. Now I'm back to a 3.
Yeah, I would run it to 3. You still have a good dynamic range there, plenty of audio, and so I would just run it there. And just to make a note to yourself that you want to run at that proximity to microphone, Roger.
That proximity to microphone, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I've got a desk mic, actually a good desk microphone, and it doesn't pick up as much background noise. I mean, a hand mic, but I just really like having a desk microphone. But I have tried the hand mic before. It sounds exactly the same with the hand mic, except no background noise.
Yes, exactly, and that's why folks that are comm channel use hand mics because they're in situations that they can't tell exactly where they're going to be all the time, and they want to be heard. It's important for them to be heard. So a hand mic, you will always be able to control your voice being heard maximum with a hand mic in all kinds of environments, right? Even the siren blasting next to you,
Right, even the siren blasting next to you,
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, they're not so sensitive to all the background noise.
Well, it's it's element to projection point, proximity to microphone. The closer you are, the better your signal to noise ratio will be. So I think, gosh, Floyd, I think we got it there, sir. If you, again, want to hear your audio, go to YouTube, call it a search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/2/21, and give us a couple of days to get it up, Roger.
And give us a couple of days to get it up, Roger.
Roger, Jim. Maybe next Friday I'll try the hand mic on there and we'll play with it a little bit. Thanks again. KJ4REZ73.
Roger, Floyd, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee W401.
Let's see, W4O, and what was it? Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please, sir.
And what was it? Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please, sir.
Yeah, Roger, Jim. That's Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee W4OY.
Roger, OAY, and what's the name there?
Roger, OAY, and what's the name there?
Yeah, the name here, Jim, is Jeff, Juliet Echo, Foxtrot. We spoke a few times there, Jim, and you helped me here with the audio on the 7300. Did some modifications here and using the boom mic and did a little bit of readjusting, so just wanted to say hi to you and see how it's sounding here.
Okay, so you're on a headset with a boom on it?
Okay, so you're on a headset with a boom on it?
It's just a boom mic. It doesn't have the headset. It's just a boom, the BM800 boom mic.
Alrighty, and gosh, well, let's the radio. Let's set the radio up first. Engage the compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, but it is the beginning of our setup procedure. Engage compressor at a 3.
Engage compressor at a 3.
There is a 3 right there, Jim.
Roger, then to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, we're going to adjust the mic gain there. Right there is 15% on my mic gain. We're running anywhere between 50% and 3/4 right there at 15% mic gain.
Yes, sir. Looks good. Dynamic range is 3 dB, exactly where we want it. Now, do you know where your EQ page is?
Do you know where your EQ page is?
Roger. I'm here on that now, on the bass and treble.
Alrighty, is that 3-band?
It is a 2-band. It just has the treble and bass is all I have on the 7300.
Of course. I never asked you what radio you were running. Yes. Okay. And where are you, Jeff?
Right. Yes. Okay. And where are you, Jeff?
I have the bass set at a +5 and treble a +3. That's a +5 bass and +3 treble.
All right. We want to back off that bass. We want to go maybe a +2 bass. +2 bass. And what mic are you using on that?
+2 bass. And what mic are you using on that?
It is the BM800. That's Bravo Mic 800 boom mic.
Yes, sir. Okay. Just +2 on the bass at the moment, Roger.
Just +2 on the bass at the moment, Roger.
Roger. Right there is a +2. That's +2 on bass.
Okay, and what's your top end treble EQ?
Okay, and what's your top end treble EQ?
It is going to be a +3. That's a +3.
All right, go ahead and take that to a 5. Max your treble EQ to a +5.
Max your treble EQ to a +5.
Okay, we're now at +5 on treble and a +2 on bass. Copy.
All right, I would go flat on your bass. Go flat on your bass.
Go flat on your bass. Go flat on your bass.
Okay, we're flat on the bass. No bass at all there.
All right, now I want you to go back to your ALC and reset your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly, Roger.
To 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly, Roger.
Roger. Right there. We're going to adjust the mic gain there to the ALC. We were at 15%. I'm backing this down a little bit right there is 10%. We're showing 50 to 2/3. That's 50% to 2/3 or 3/4 scale there, Jim.
Roger, sounds good, sir. Now, why don't you tell me in 10 seconds or so the best thing you like about your 7300?
10 seconds or so, the best thing you like about your 7300?
One of the first things I like about the 7300 is the price, around $1,000 now, and the great audio that the 7300s provide and the ease of operation from the front knobs. So that's what I like about the 7300 there. How do you copy on that, Jim?
Yes, sir. What is your proximity to microphone? About how far are you close to your mic?
What is your microphone? About how far are you close to your mic?
I am roughly about 2 inches away. That's 2 inches away from the microphone.
All right, try it about 3 inches and let me hear you. Tell me in 10 seconds or so about your antenna.
Tell me in 10 seconds or so about your antenna.
Roger, Roger. We're approximately 3 inches away now from the microphone. The ALC has fallen a little bit right there, Jim, but we're about 3 inches. And I have a 40-meter dipole up about 40 feet there, Jim, but we're falling a little bit below 50% on the ALC. So that's where I'm at now.
Roger, that microphone does have an upper mid peak. It's kind of peaky in the upper mids, almost to a ring, not quite, but it does favor some frequencies up there around between 1K and 1.5K. I'm not sure exactly why. And obviously, you know, the 7300 is designed as a very sophisticated two-band EQ. The whole idea about equalization is bring the top to balance to the mid-range and the bottom to balance to the mid-range. And they said, well, if we're going to do that, then we don't need to adjust the mid-range. And a lot of folks would tend to if they had a three-band, would be to mess with that mid-range, which you don't want to do. And ICOM said we don't need the mid-range EQ since we're just balancing the top to the mids and the bottom to the mid. So your particular microphone does have an upper mid kind of ring to it. Whereas, do you have the original hand mic?
Yeah, Roger, I do.
I'd just be curious if you might slip that on and let me hear your hand mic. Now, I consider that hand mic to be just exceptional. That you have to work it in particular, that it is to the corner of your lips, not directly into it. Work across it and have it from the corner of your mouth and work across it that way. But it is just exceptional fidelity because of the electret element in it.
Okay, Jim, I have the hand mic here now.
Roger. Now on that hand mic, I would pull that top end EQ back to about a +1 or 2, +1, and let me hear you.
+1, and let me hear you.
Okay, go to the treble. You said +1 on the treble?
Yeah, Roger, just a +1. That electret microphone is very sensitive to high-frequency articulation, and it doesn't need much boost. Unlike dynamic ranges, dynamic mics tend to need to be pushed a little bit in EQ to have nice articulation. That element in your hand mic is an electret condenser mic, and it does very well with just a little treble boost. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Right there is 1 on the bass and a 5 on treble. 1 on bass and 5 on treble.
Right, okay, so back off that treble to a +1. Bring your treble EQ back to +1.
Okay, there is +1 on treble, +1 on treble, and +1 on bass.
Okay, then pull the mic to the corner of your lips where you're not working into it, you're working across it, Roger?
Roger, Roger. How's that? I'm working across the hand mic now at a +1 treble and a +1 bass.
Roger, it could stand maybe another click up on the treble, +2.
Up on the treble, +2.
Okay, there's a +2 on treble and +1 on bass. +2 on treble and +1 on bass.
Yes, sir. Now that to me is just a very clean audio signal. It doesn't have any artifacts in it as far as resonant tonalities. It's a very flat rendition of your voice, Roger.
Rendition of your voice, Roger.
Yeah, Roger there, Jim, and I'm still running. I'm looking at the ALC now. It's about 50% to two-thirds, so ALC is good within that range, and it looks like... So I think that's where we need it there. So if that sounds good, we'll lock her down right there and put a set screw in it, Jim.
Roger, now I just went over to my local antenna. I've been copying you on the Milford PA SDR. I just went to my local antenna, and you're at least 15 over. So my local receiver is good down to 100 cycles, much better than the SDRs. They tend to roll off at about 300 cycles. So I have a really good copy on you now. Why don't you tell me again about your antenna system, maybe something that you don't like about your antenna system?
Roger. It's a wire antenna. It's up in the tree, and I wish I had a beam here for 40 meters is what I wish it really had instead of the wire. But all antennas are based off the wire there, Jim. So how's that, how we sound now with the ICOM 7300 and the hand mic?
Yes, so just excellent. Now I want you to go back to your other microphone, and we'll give that a listen. You'll probably have to do that +5 treble EQ, and we'll see what else we need there with your desk mic.
M4 DOV.
Stand by, sir.
Okay, Jim, we're now back with the boom mic.
Okay, and what's our treble EQ setting?
The treble is a +2.
Okay, we want to take that treble to a +5.
Okay, we're now a +5 on treble and about 3 inches away from the mic.
That sounds pretty good. I don't hear the ringiness that I heard before. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it sounds fairly linear as far as the capture frequency response. It does not have the top end that the hand mic does, but then there you go. You have the convenience of the desk mic. So we're running treble EQ +5, and what's on the bottom end?
On the bottom end, we're a +1. That's a +1 on bottom.
Okay, make that a +2 on the bottom side.
Okay, we're now a +2 on the bottom. That's a +2 on the bottom.
All right, and I'm hearing just a little bit of plosives there. You might want to check out a foam windscreen for that desk mic, Roger.
Roger, I got the foam windstream on there, and also have the round screen that I could put on there to make it double screened.
That might need, because I did hear some plosives there. I did want you to work, I think, a little differently than what you were. I think you're a little closer to Mike than what you were.
I was about 3 inches. Now, there's a double screen. It's double screen right there, Jim.
I like that. I'd do that. You have no frequency discrimination because of a double screen, but you do have a lot less plosives, to deal with. Mainly just words now are coming through. Roger?
Roger on that, Jim. So we can put the double screen on here, and it may take care of some of that. So we sound good right there. I'll have the two settings, one for the boom mic and one for the hand mic here, if you think that's the spot to lock that in.
Yeah, I would put it that. You be the judge, though. Consult the recording. When all else fails, listen to the recording, Roger.
Roger on that, Jim. Appreciate your wonderful time there, and appreciate the audio check here, and appreciate what you do. I'll say 73 to you other guys waiting to get in here, and you have a good Friday and a good Easter there. 73 from W401.
Roger, Jeff, and where are you located, sir?
We're located in a little town here at Whitfield, Virginia. That's Whitfield, Virginia. QSL?
Yes, sir, Jeff. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday, Roger.
Will do, Jim, and take care, my friend.
Roger. This is KC9VKV. Got room for one more air check. This is KC9VKV Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out. shot. Give me a shot.
Officer Victor, 14403, over.
Okay, I went searching through my SDRs, and I didn't hear anybody pop out. There's about 4 stations there. Loudest one, try it again, please.
Loudest one, try it again, please.
Kilo 3, Kilo Tango Bravo.
All right, there's a Kilo 3 station in my life. Stand by just a moment. I hit something with my... there we go. Okay. And that station I was just talking about, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Talking about come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo 3, Kilo Tango Bravo. Officer Victor.
Kilo 3 station, come back slowly with your call sign phonetically, slowly.
Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically, slowly.
Kilo 3, Kilo Tango Bravo.
KTB, Roger, and what's the name there?
KCB, Roger, and what's the name there?
The name is Peter.
Okay, Peter, and what's your location?
Okay, Peter, and what's your location?
My location is Western Pennsylvania, over.
And what radio are you running today, Peter?
What radio are you running today, Peter?
I have an ICOM IC7300, and I'm using a Heil ICM microphone.
All right, and I'm copying you on the Milford PA SDR, so why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system so that I could listen to you?
Seconds on your antenna system so that I could listen to you.
All right, the antenna I'm using is an off-center fed dipole. It goes from 6 to 40 meters. I have it about 33 feet in the air, and it seems to work pretty good for me overall.
Roger, got a little interference. I'm not sure whether it's delivered or not. But anyway, Peter, let's go through the setup procedure if you might, and we'll see where it goes. It starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. Turn your compressor on at a 3, Roger.
Turn your compressor on at a 3, Roger.
Yes, my compressor is on, and it's at 3.
All right, now move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can bring the ALC meter up to see where it is. Adjust that ALC meter for mid-scale to 2/3 operation by way of mic gain manipulation.
By way of mic gain manipulation.
Okay, currently it's up pretty high, and I'm dropping it down now. Yeah, well, there we go. I think it's about mid to 2/3 now. To 2.
Oh, well, gosh, we brought out the QRMers, it looks like. Deliberate interference. Man, I just wonder, these folks just can't stand intelligent communication. They're not capable of it, and that's why they can't stand it, and so they must interrupt it. Roger?
Why they can't stand it, and so they must interrupt it. Roger?
Roger, that's a true shame there.
All right, so why don't you give me 10 seconds on your antenna system, Peter?
So why don't you give me 10 seconds on your antenna system, Peter?
Okay, and it's an off-center fed dipole. It goes from 6 to 40 meters. It's 33 feet in the air. It slopes down at the ends, but overall I have pretty good performance with it.
Roger, Peter. Well, gosh, you look pretty good there. Your EQ is very close. I wouldn't change that at the moment. And your dynamic range is about 3 dB is what we were looking for, which means your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. Roger?
Is between 80 and 85%. Roger?
Roger, that's, I always wondered just how I sounded to others. I've never really tried.
Yes, sir. Like I say, I'm copying you on the Milford PA SDR. If you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on what you like best about your radio there, and I'll see if I can pick you up on my local antenna. Well, I think this outfit also it's very easy to use, very intuitive.
The menus are easy to go through and find what you're looking for to adjust.
Roger, yes, I've got you about 7 dB above my noise level on my local antenna. Sound great. So if you want to hear your radio, you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 4/2/21. That will take you to this recording. Roger?
Roger, I really appreciate you working with me here.
Yes, sir. My pleasure, sir. And give us a couple of days to get this uploaded to YouTube. Roger?
Yes, thank you very much. 73. Yes, thank you very much. 73, and have a wonderful Easter.
Roger, Peter, 73, sir. You have a great Easter, too, and a great afternoon and beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, and gosh, we're looking at the clock on the wall, and there's a dead fly. No, it's an old joke. We got to get out of here. We have enjoyed it since 3:30, and like I say, if you participated, want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 4/2/21, that will take you to this recording. If you might be interested in other folks' audio, if you go to YouTube and do just a call letter search, KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. Right now we're featuring about 1,600 QSO-VLOG recordings. So something for everybody there to peruse and hear, and maybe think, maybe I like his guy's audio better than mine, or I like mine better than his, or whatever. But there's a lot of different folks in there, 1,600 for you to listen to and think about. But right now, we've got to get out of here. We've enjoyed it. So this is KC9VKV returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.
KC9VKV clear.
KC9VKV, before you go real quick. KC9VKV.
Station calling real quick, go.
Hey, Jim.
Station calling real quick, go.
This is W3F. Lloyd, I put my stock mic on there. Does it sound any better?
Stock mic, gosh, is that a dynamic stock mic?
Stock mic, gosh, is that a dynamic stock mic?
Yeah, it's the hand mic off of a 7300. I use it with my 706 once in a while.
Oh, it's a 7300 hand mic. Gosh, that's a great stock mic. I would think that maybe your EQ might be in not a good position for that microphone, because usually that microphone is outstanding on the top end, particularly for your articulation, Roger.
Top end, particularly for your articulation, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I was using my ICOM desk mic a little while ago when you and I talked, and I told you I had a hand mic for it, so I thought I'd plug it in there real quick before you left and see how it sounded. Now with the hand mic, I do have the compression on.
Roger. Sounds good. I think you could use either one. The main thing is when you switch mics, always go back to your ALC and verify that you're running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
And verify that you're running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
Well, right there, I turned the compression off. I usually run the compression with it because the mic's not very sensitive.
Yes, well, always run that radio, the 7300, run it with the compressor on at a 3. That's part of the setup procedure, whether you're using a hand mic or a desk mic. It is compressor on at a 3. Then, depending on the mic, go to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust the ALC from mid-scale to 2/3. Obviously, the hand mic is going to be hotter, but you still want the ALC to reflect a mid-scale to 2/3 movement. Roger?
To mid-scale to 2/3 movement. Roger?
Roger. All right, Jim, I'll let you go. I know you got to get out of here, and I kept hearing your phone ringing in the background. So I'll catch you next Friday. KJ4REZ 73.
Roger, sir, 73, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Again, this is KC9VKV returning the frequency to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.